What's going on, everyone? It's Bluff here, and we're driving through the States in the Bluff-mobile, and the best thing that we can do is play our favorite casino-style games on SpinQuest. They have over 1,000 games, including live dealer, blackjack, and craps, with tons of slots and unlimited options. You can get a $30 coin pack for just $10 for new users. Sign up today. Go to spinquest.com right now.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit spinquest.com for more details.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. Like the strawberry watermelon refresher, the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba, and the Sprite berry blast topped with cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire?
The sun's out, and so is our new drink lineup. From the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher to the Dirty Dr. Pepper. And they all pair perfectly with some fries. Refreshers contain caffeine. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
Hello, I'm Ania Lichtarowicz, and this is Somewhere on Earth, your weekly look at technology and its impact on our everyday lives. I'm in Rio de Janeiro at Web Summit. It is Wednesday, the 10th of June, 2026. Welcome to the Global Tech Podcast. Coming up today, we're exploring two very different examples of innovation shaping Brazil's future. First, artificial intelligence meets fintech. Brazil's Pix payment system has already transformed the way millions of people move money. Now, a new breakthrough could take things even further, with AI agents able to initiate payments on behalf of users. We'll speak to Gustavo Bressler from Iniciador about what this could mean for consumers, businesses, and the future of digital transactions. Then, from finance to the Amazon, a Brazilian food tech company is using technology, traceability, and new business models to reinvent a kai or a sai, depending which part of the world you're from, and reduce pollution in the forest. We'll hear from Tomás Martínez from Masaix about how innovation could help turn biodiversity into one of Brazil's biggest economic opportunities. That's Somewhere on Earth, where tech meets humanity. Brazil has become one of the world's most fascinating fintech laboratories. The country's instant payment system, Pix, has transformed how millions of people move money, become a model that's now being studied around the globe. But what happens when you combine instant payments with artificial intelligence? Our next guest is helping to pioneer exactly that. Iniciador has developed what it describes as a world-first solution that allows AI agents to initiate payments through the Pix system, potentially opening the door to a future where intelligent digital assistants can not only make recommendations, but also complete transactions on our behalf. Joining us now is Gustavo Bressler, Chief Product Officer at Iniciador. Gustavo, welcome to Somewhere on Earth.
Hi.
Now, first of all, let's go back to the basics. For those listeners outside of Brazil who may not be familiar with Pix, can you explain what it is and why it has become such a success story?
Hi, Anna. First of all, pleasure to be here with you. Pix is our account-to-account payment system here in Brazil. It's our instant payments rails that we've developed in Brazil. We've got a lot of inspiration from the open banking in the UK, and we've developed our own open finance and instant payment rails here in Brazil. It's now connected to almost any transactional account in Brazil, basically 1 billion accounts. Brazilians have in general 6 to 7 accounts, and we use each account for our different purposes. And it's a system that connects them all and allows us here in Brazil to make instant transactions between any account for free, 24/7, and very simple technology.
So, tell me a little bit about the technology, because Pix is everywhere. You get in a taxi, there's a Pix payment QR code or whatever hanging off the driver's seat. You go into a shop, it's on the cashier's desk. I mean, it's even in your hotel room. I was quite surprised, but it's there. It's everywhere. What's the tech behind it?
It's everywhere. About 44% of online payments are made through Pix. So that's more than cards. There are about 41% right now in Brazil. The technology behind Pix is actually very simple. It's a messaging system between banks. Banks have to operate those messages that they receive from other banks and the central bank, and they have a settlement account with the central bank. End of the day, they settle their accounts and transfer money between them and their own bank accounts of the banks themselves.
Oh, okay. Now, what challenge or opportunity did your company see that led you to start exploring these AI-initiated payments?
Well, when we are an open finance infrastructure company, it's very similar to the open banking that you have in the UK. It was inspired by it. We add our touches to it. We've developed our own standards for the user experience and the journey, and things that we saw that could be improved on the open banking system developed in the UK. And for Pix, we have the payment initiation side. So in the UK, you've developed the open banking and payment initiation initially, and then the account-to-account rails to allow for payment initiation. In Brazil, we did the reverse. We started with the account-to-account rails. It didn't have the best user experience. Sometimes it got a little bit of friction for the user to pay. They had to use a QR code, or they had to copy a code and paste inside their banking app, but it worked. It helped digitize money. Mm-hmm. Some people that would receive the salaries and the benefits in places that they would have to go to a different village, a different city to have access to an ATM to withdraw their money. Now they could use their Pix and their phones to pay for goods and services in their city without the risk. And everybody in Brazil has a phone because everyone needs WhatsApp here in Brazil.
At least one phone. It's usually more, isn't it?
It is.
I see you smiling there. But with this first of its kind integration between AI agents and the Pix system, what has Iniciador actually achieved here?
So when we're talking about agents, they're nothing more than assistants. They're assisting you either to buy something or to help you with your financials. The last leg that we needed to solve is for the agent to help you move your money to what they recommend to you. So right now your banking app it's like a supermarket, right? You have a lot of products and you have to choose credit, investments, or something. We're moving towards assistants that are recommending products to you. It could be something you want to buy, and you ask your AI model to help you decide what you want, or it could be a financial decision as well that you want support with. What we did was to allow inside this conversational approach, either through a messaging app like WhatsApp or iMessage, or inside the AI system itself or an app, so that you could have that recommendation from the agent, but also be able to pay with an instant transaction, automated, already connected to all the accounts in Brazil, and you use your device biometrics, just like you would with a credit card, for example, to approve each and every payment.
Okay, so can you just talk us through a real-world example?
All right.
Because I kind of like, okay, I can sort of picture it, but I'm not quite sure. So there you go. I'm going to make a payment with a AI. Go on, tell me what happens.
You go to your ChatGPT or your Claude, and you ask it, I need to buy new earbuds. I go running every day. My earbuds are not working well, and I need new earbuds. And they could be up to 50 quid, I would say. It will come to you with recommendations. It will give you 3 recommendations. You'll select the one that you want, and it will ask you to, okay, you already have an account connected here. do you want to use that account to pay? And you'd say yes. And then it would just surface your Face ID on your phone, if you're using a phone or a similar device. And then it would approve your payment. The money would come from your account. You can confirm the value, the receiver, everything. And the money will go instantly to the receiver. The payment will go through. You wouldn't have to access a web page, for example, to make a purchase.
So no more putting things in your basket, no more going to the payment system, no more deciding which credit card to use, no more it saying, oh no, and then going through a second verification system. But that process does feel quite safe to me. You know, unfortunately, my card was blocked when we came to Brazil. Long story. But, you know, the bank picked up that it was unusual activity, yeah? And despite me trying all my two-tier verification, it still wouldn't work. And what happens? This is really quick, frighteningly quick. How secure and how safe is it?
It's as safe as if you're in the banking app. Because when you're using your Face ID in your phone, what the phone is actually doing is getting the risk signals from the device, sometimes the geolocalization, where you at, if you're connected to any Wi-Fi or anything like that, the same information that your banking app will have. It uses your Face ID to sign that information so your bank knows that it's true, and sends it to the bank along with the payment information so the bank can decide if they will approve it or not. So they basically have the same information that they will have if you had their app open, but you don't need to have their bank open to do that. You could do that anywhere you're purchasing from, in very quick, without losing the conversation that you're having with your assistant.
Now, Brazil has often been at the forefront of fintech development. I mean, Pix is just one example, but how important has the regulatory environment been for this, for these developments?
It's been super important. It's because of the regulation that we are able to do those things in a universal way. When we see other solutions for agentic payments in the world, either using the card rails or using crypto and stable coins, they all have, they're all fragmented, meaning you cannot use the same account to pay to any other account in your country. While in Brazil, it's universal. All accounts are connected and they all use the same payment rails. We see payment rails in Brazil as we see roads. They are a public good, and the regulation is very important to define the standards to which each and every bank will communicate with each other, either for payments or for data sharing.
Yeah, because in some countries, and certainly in the UK a few years ago, I could move money very quickly, but instantaneously between my own accounts within one bank. But for it to go to another bank, that took time. It's now much better, but a lot of countries still face that issue, don't they? Now, could this approach, this wonderful new way of shopping so quickly and so easily, I'm sure there are many drawbacks too, but could this be applied in other countries that don't have PIX?
Right now, we can't. It's entirely dependent on the regulation that connects all the banks in Brazil. But we've seen same regulations in Colombia with Bressler, in India with UPI, even in the UK with account-to-account payments. We're working towards variable recurring payments as well in the UK. So there's similar regulations that could be adapted and understood so we have the same standard. I think the approach internationally will be more market-driven than regulation-driven, meaning that the banks will have to come together and they all would have an incentive to provide such a payment system. And we're working towards that because the benchmarks that we have here in Brazil, they have been really good for banks. Initially, banks think they will lose money on transactions that they would usually charge their customers, but then the benefits are way bigger than the drawbacks the banks have. And we've seen that in Brazil and how banks have benefited from having more users, more Brazilians with financial accounts, and being able to monetize those users with their products, being able to distribute credit, investments, insurance, and so on.
Gustavo, Bressler, Chief Product Officer at Iniciador. Thank you for joining us on Somewhere on Earth, the Global Tech Podcast. And you are staying behind for the podcast extra. I haven't chained these guests to the table, honestly, dear listener. They are here of their own free will. A huge thank you to everyone who has left us a 5-star review on their podcasting provider. Please keep doing so. Our numbers are growing every week. We've gained a few paid subscribers as well. Thank you for signing up and paying. It really keeps the show running. For just $10 a month, you can subscribe for an ad-free extended version of the show. Just search pod.fan, Somewhere on Earth podcast, and subscribe. When we think about technology startups, we often think about apps, software, or AI. But some of the most interesting innovations are happening in places far from Silicon Valley. In the Amazon, a Brazilian food tech is trying to reinvent one of the country's most iconic products. And now I'm going to say it wrong. Açaí. Say it again for me, Thomas. Açaí. Right, or acacia berries. Now, Maçaix says it has created a new category called Specialty Açaí, combining technology, traceability, rapid processing, and regenerative business practices to improve quality while helping protect forests and support local communities. The company operates across Brazil and internationally and is part of a growing movement using innovation to create value from biodiversity rather than exploitation. Well, joining us now, you heard him earlier, Thomas Martins from Maçaix. Thomas, welcome to Somewhere on Earth.
Thank you.
Now, many people know the açaí as a smoothie bowl or health food trend. How did Maçaix begin? And what made you think there was an opportunity to completely rethink the way açaí is produced and sold?
First of all, thanks for the invitation. I think it's important to get a context about the açaí, or how we call it in Brazil, açaí. Açaí, it's the most powerful antioxidant food ever discovered. It has the power to protect your cells and even to prevent from diseases like cancer or Alzheimer. And that's one of the reasons that made this fruit in the last 20 years to grow a lot and to become a global success around the world. So markets like United States, Australia, even now in China are buying a lot of açaí. But it's also a market with a big problem. The fruit of açaí, it's extremely perishable. Within 48 hours after harvest, it loses practically all of its antioxidants and nutrients. And people don't know that.
I was going to say, you buy it in London at a premium, but it couldn't have got there in less than 48 hours from being harvested. So what we're buying in the UK, or anywhere else really outside of Brazil, or outside of pretty much very close to where it's being harvested, is not as good as it was.
Exactly. Most of the times it's like an ice cream with a little bit of pulp inside.
Pulp.
Pulp.
Yeah.
Sorry. Pulp.
That's okay.
Yeah. But with no nutrients. Because it's such a young market and doesn't have yet so many traceability, so many technology involved, and that's beginning now, and we are trying to do our part of this. So we developed the first technology that guarantees that the fruit is going to be harvested and processed in maximum of 12 hours.
What's going on, everyone? It's Bluff here, and we're driving through the States in the Bluff Mobile, and the best thing that we can do is play our favorite casino-style games on SpinQuest. They have over 1,000 games, including live dealer, blackjack, and craps, with tons of slots and unlimited options. You can get a $30 coin pack for just $10 for new users. Sign up today. Go to spinquest.com right now.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit spinquest.com for more details.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
You work hard to stay healthy and want the freedom to make the best decisions for yourself and your family. So why does healthcare still feel expensive and frustrating? Crowd Health is a different approach, built for entrepreneurs, families, and independent-minded people who want a simpler way to pay for healthcare. More than 28,000 members have already joined, and over 40,000 medical bills have already been funded. No restrictive networks, no corporate middlemen, just real people helping each other. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com.
Okay, so talk me through what happens.
With this process, we guaranteed that it's going to happen the maximum preservation of nutrients and antioxidants. We start selecting the best fruits. We develop this technology together with partners that are able to put the processing machine next to the forest, but also in a sustainable way. And after you get this fruit with more nutrients, with more antioxidants preserved, and that you can prove this to the final consumer, producers that takes care of the production to get this technology and to get a better fruit, they also can sell more expensive. And we can retain more value inside of the Brazilian food chain and inside of the forests. It's crazy. If you go there, you're going to see that acai, it's a market that it's growing a lot, but the people that work in the forest, that climb the trees most of the times, they are not getting this money. They are not receiving what they should receive. And that's why we are developing this certification, because this technology is going to turn to be a certification so people can know when they are buying a fruit that it's made with technology, with care, different than other ones.
And so within those 12 hours, you are able to pick it and extract the pulp, which is only 15% of the fruit, isn't it? But that's the bit that currently is being used. Yeah. And then freeze it. And then it is transported in that way. So you get it frozen.
Exactly. So after it's frozen, we don't have anymore the problem of losing nutrients. So after we freeze within these 12 hours, we transport to other industries where we are going to make the cream or the sorbet. And then we have a ready product to consume. It's really easy. You can scoop like an ice cream, and then you can make bowls, put your favorite toppings on top.
And it will have many more antioxidant properties than something that you're buying from somewhere else.
Exactly. And that's the thing. We believe people are going to start to know more about antioxidants. We see nowadays this hype of protein, and I really believe that antioxidant can be the next hype, let's say, because we believe that people every time more are thinking about longevity and protecting their cells.
Now, as we mentioned before, it's only the pulp. That's 15%. The rest is seed.
Yeah.
And you've done something else, haven't you, with the National Institute of Technology in Brazil, and you've developed the first antioxidant extract. So tell me all about that.
Exactly. When we started working with the acai food chain, we realized that there was a big problem related to the seed. The seed represents more than 80% of the fruit, and there is not important use so far. Of course, we have some companies and some artists that are using to make jewelry, or even to use as a fuel, but it's not enough. We still have so much seed that are not being used, and if you travel to the north of Brazil, you're going to see these seeds as trash in the streets.
It's a huge pollution problem, isn't it?
Exactly. And so we brought the seed to the National Institute of Brazil. We started talking with them. They realized that this could have an important significance in technology of food techs, and we were able to develop the first antioxidant extract of the seed of the acai. And that's actually more powerful than the pulp.
Than the pulp. So go on. That's all patented. I don't know how much you can actually talk about that. But how do you think that will change the markets?
Okay. We already have a green patent out of this product. It's a prototype at the moment. We are still working on how we are going to bring this to the market. But I really believe as cosmetics that we could apply even in skincare or also supplements. I believe that's the way. Like I said before, we believe that in the next years, antioxidants are going to be more known, like we saw in the last years with protein. So I really believe the market of supplements and cosmetics are going to start to look always more to the antioxidants.
Now, consumers want to know more and more where their food comes from. You've mentioned traceability. How are you going to achieve that?
Yeah, that's really hard in the Amazon forest because we have sometimes acai coming from really remote islands. But that's also what we bring as a special value, as a add value to our product. So we are bringing different partners with technology, with traceability technology, as Embrapa, Embrapi, the National Institute of Brazil, to be able to, with the riverine communities, get more information out of the process of the harvesting. It's really hard. The harvesting nowadays of many products of acai happens manually. So the riverine communities, usually they climb the trees even without safety equipments. So it's a long job. We are trying to bring more safety equipments, and then we are also developing an app that the person which is harvesting the acai is gonna be able to scan the fruit and to put the information, and so we're gonna have more information about this fruit.
Now you've expanded beyond Brazil into international markets already. What lessons have you learned from taking on an Amazonian product to the world while staying true to its origins?
I believe the world is really looking to the Amazon forest, and I think all the consumers, or most of the consumers internationally, are interested in causing a good impact in the Amazon forest. But we also see a lot of greenwash related to this. So some markets are being really hard to grow. I could say, for example, Spain. Spain is a market that we are opening our first store now, actually. But we see a lot of greenwash in this market, and it's hard to compete with this. We are trying to look to markets that have specialty segments already developed. So, for example, Chile has a population that really understands about wine, about specialty wine, terroir, and we are trying to get a similar communication with the acai. We also look a lot to the market of specialty coffee. Mm-hmm. We are really getting this inspiration of how they built the system and trying to bring the same concept and the same rating, same scores to the acai market, so people can understand that we have one type of acai that regenerates forests, that bring more income to the riverine communities, and there is another type of acai that it's just a product that it's not preserving nothing.
Tomasz, thank you for joining us here on Somewhere on Earth. And you're also staying behind, so we'll hear more from you in a moment. And thank you, dear listener, for joining us. If you've enjoyed the conversation, make sure you subscribe for more stories and ideas from leaders shaping the future of business, technology and society. The sound engineer today in Rio is Leandro Fonte, and I'm the editor. Until next week, goodbye.
Ugh, I have had no luck lately. Wait, lady luck?
Britsky, I got you. I've had so much luck on SpinQuest.com. They have all of my favorite games, slot games, live blackjack, craps, and bubble craps. You can even get a $30 coin pack for just $10.
$10 for 30? I'm headed over to SpinQuest.com right now.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
You work hard to stay healthy and want the freedom to make the best decisions for yourself and your family. So why does healthcare still feel expensive and frustrating? Crowd Health is a different approach, built for entrepreneurs, families, and independent-minded people who want a simpler way to pay for healthcare. More than 28,000 members have already joined, and over 40,000 medical bills have already been funded. No restrictive networks, no corporate middlemen, just real people helping each other. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast. which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.